If Ricky stays healthy, he can be as good as anybody in baseball. I don't say that because it sounds good. I mean it. I see him take BP every day, and he's so big and strong, has incredible bat speed. It's just a matter of staying healthy and putting it all together. And hopefully this is the year. Just seeing him go out there and compete every day. He's one of the hardest working people I've been around. He really kind of brings a football mentality to the baseball field, and he really helps give us an edge as a team.
That was Ryan Braun before the season, last season, looking into his crystal ball, and Weeks did have a breakout year last year. 29 home runs, and he's off to a great start in 2011. And it's a matchup this week between two of the most prolific offensive second basemen in baseball, Ricky Weeks and Dan Uggla. And it was Uggla's home run yesterday that gave the Braves game one of this series. Now we're set for game two, Atlanta, Milwaukee on WMLW. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park, Milwaukee. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us. And we're certainly hoping tonight is the night that the Brew Crew gets off the schneid, as Rock likes to say, get the skunk out of the box. It'd be a good night to do it. And as we mentioned, we're watching these two great hitting second basemen, Ricky Weeks and Dan Uggla. Always a great show.
And you're not supposed to get that kind of production and home run power out of second baseman, but it is all about being healthy and staying on the field for Ricky Weeks. Ryan Braun looking into his crystal ball last year. Ricky's turned it all on. Remember when he first came out, he was young, still learning how to play baseball. His confidence continues to grow. He hits the ball out of the ballpark, all fields, and his on-base percentage has been terrific. And talking about power, Dan Uggla, 4 straight years of 30 or more home runs. He won the game yesterday on a home run. More of a pull hitter than Ricky Weeks, but certainly good enough. He drives in runs, good enough to get that long-term deal with the Braves this offseason.
There you see the numbers for the two second basemen, both signing long-term deals with their respective clubs. Uggla was traded from the Marlins to the Braves, and then he signed a long-term deal with Atlanta, and their ranks from the beginning of last season. That is outstanding. Stay with us. More coming up from Miller Park. When we continue, we will hear from Ron Renicky. We'll get his reaction on the 0-4 start and the plans moving forward in that clubhouse. W is presented by Triple Hop Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By Feltco. For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELTCO. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Tuesday night here at Miller Park, the Braves and the Brewers. And the opening day starters are back in the wheel as Giovanni Gallardo makes his home debut of 2011. He pitched well against Cincinnati on opening day, and there's Derek Lowe. He'll get the call tonight for the Atlanta Braves. You see what he did against the Washington Nationals. Well, certainly the 0-4 start has many concerned around town, and it certainly does in that Brewers clubhouse. And if you think you want to be a major league manager, this is what Ron Rinicky has to deal with early, trying to maintain a positive message and keep all that good favor coming out of spring training.
It's definitely the message. You know, you go through streaks in a season where you lose some games in a row. We happen to do it at the start, which is tougher. But we're obviously going to win a game. We'll just, you know, hopefully it's tomorrow. And I think as long as the guys stay positive, you know, I still feel like every day that we go out there that we're going to win.
Well, they say in baseball, you're only as good as your next day's starter. And the Brewers have their ace on the mound. Yovani Gallardo will toe the rubber against the Braves. Lineups, first pitch coming up next. Well, Yovani Gallardo leads the Brewers onto the field here at Miller Park. And a nice ovation as Gallardo makes his first start of the season in front of his home fans. And many feel Gallardo, just 25 years of age, ready to take it to the next level as he matches up against the Atlanta Braves. First pitch is down and away we go. Game 2 of this 4-game series, the Brewers and the Braves. Martin Prado leading off for Atlanta. He'll be followed by Nate McLouth and Chipper Jones. That is Alan Porter. He's calling the balls and strikes. The crew chief Bill Miller over at first with Phil Cuzzy and James Hoy rounding out this 4-man big league umpiring crew. Prado hit the game-tying home run yesterday on the ground out to Weeks. And one gone for Gallardo. Let's give you the Atlanta Braves batting order, and it's brought to you by Toyota. This is the lineup that Freddie Gonzalez turned in. Prado, McLeod, and Jones at the top. Then it's Brian McCann, Dan Uggla, and Jason Hayward. Bottom three, Alex Gonzalez, Eric Hinsky, and Derek Lowe. A much improved Atlanta batting order. Defensively, brought to you by Menards. For the Brewers, it's Braun, Morgan, and Kotze, McGee, Counsell, Weeks, and Fielder. And a battery tonight of George Kataris and Giovanni Gallardo.
And Yo pitched very well his first time out against Cincinnati, and no decision. Allowed only 2 earned runs in 6 innings.
Said he fought a few nerves, which is understandable for his opening day start. Throughout the first 2 innings, but settled down and certainly was in line for the win on opening day. That late comeback by Cincinnati as McLeod gets a piece of Kataris of that foul ball. Atlanta's off to a hot start. Braves are 3-1 to start the year. They took 2 out of 3 from the Nationals to begin their season. Under first-year manager Freddie Gonzalez, longtime coach under Bobby Cox, and a manager with the Florida Marlins.
And George having a tough time recovering from that foul tip.
Only time will heal those wounds.
Not a good start for George, but it'll go away. It feels as bad now as it will all night, but that's no consolation right now for Kataris.
Sensitive area.
Yes.
Everybody laughs at you too. Why is that, Rob?
I don't know. The catcher, if that happens to anybody else, yeah. I mean, you've got stretchers and you've got all kinds of concern. Just the way it is.
Ball and 2 strikes, and McLeod late on the fastball. You see Gallardo's fastball is very good once again this year. Look at it. Everybody's just laughing at him.
Every time that used to happen to me, Greg Brock at first base used to cover his face with his glove and start laughing hysterically.
Yeah. Only if it's
look at everybody
somebody
laughing.
else. Yep. All the pitchers especially.
The thing is, they have no idea how that feels.
Oh, they know. That's why they're laughing, because it's not them. Look at George. Just hold me up. I need a hug.
Alan Porter knows how it feels.
They'll ask if he went. No, he didn't, says James Hoy. And the count evens at 2-2. Nate McLeod trying to settle in Atlanta. Injury-plagued season last year. On the disabled list for a little over a month last year. And that one's hit well into center field, and it's down for a base hit. A couple of changes defensively as we saw the Brewers defense behind Gallardo. Ron Renicky making sure a number of his left-handed hitters are in the lineup, and that means Niger Morgan starts in center field with Counsell at short and Mark Kotze in right field. So Betancourt and Carlos Gomez will be available as pinch hitters off the bench for Renicky today, but 5 left-handers in the starting 9 for Ron Renicky here tonight against Derek Lowe. Chance for 2 here. Nice and easy. Counsell to the bag in time. And a good way to start. Giovanni Gallardo faces 3 batters in the first. A double play on Chipper Jones to end the top half. Now the Brewers coming up against Derek Lowe. Toyota batting order for Ron Renicky today. He's got Weeks, Nyjer Morgan, and Ryan Braun at the top of the order. And then in the middle, it's Fielder, McGee, and Katse with Council, Kotaris, and then Giovanni Gallardo. The 5 lefties in the starting 9 that will face Derek Lowe.
And the Lexus scouting report on the 13-year veteran. Good sinker. He's always up amongst league leaders in ground ball to fly ball ratio, second in the NL last year. He's standing a little bit taller this year and has a good downward plane on that good sinker. And he's won 6 straight games dating back to last September.
In the middle of a long-term deal with the Atlanta Braves that he signed prior to the 09 season, a 4-year contract, facing Ricky Weeks to start us off here tonight. The Brewers and Giovanni Gallardo, a scoreless top of the first against Atlanta, and now Lowe coming off a win against the Nationals, 5 2/3 of shutout baseball against Washington in the opener in D.C. As Weeks sends one down the line, just foul. Here's how the Braves line up defensively behind Lowe, and they'll be active, you would think, especially in the infield. You got Prado, McLeod, and Hayward in the outfield. Chipper Jones, Alex Gonzalez, Dan Uggla, and Eric Hinsky, the Menasha, Wisconsin native, over at first. Brian McCann does the catching for Derek Lowe. Menard's defense. McCann did not start yesterday. Did come into the game late, but he gets the start, and he is one of the great talents in baseball behind the plate. 5-time All-Star catcher. Lowe straightens up Ricky Weeks.
You can just see the way that ball gets into the hitting zone. It drops about 6 inches. Outstanding sinking fastball by Derek Lowe. 72% of his outs are ground balls. That's pretty good.
Infield defense at a premium today with Derek Lowe on the mound. One of the big pitches that Lowe has, probably, I guess it's best to say that he's gone back to, maybe more so when he was a closer, but he has found his slider again. And that sinker slider combination can make him very tough on the opposition. 2 pitches that break in opposite directions. There's the slider right there.
Yeah, he'll throw at a couple of different speeds. Ordinarily, throw a little bit harder one to right-handed batters, and then take a little bit off of the slider and to left-handers to get more of a break on him. But he has been throwing the baseball very well dating back to last year. He was 5-0 in September last year. Minuscule earned run average, and he continued that in his first start against the Nationals.
Has a no-hitter on his major league register. Did that back in 2002 against the Tampa Bay Rays. That was as a member of the Red Sox. He strikes out Ricky Weeks. Got him with a breaking ball, and one away as Nyjer Morgan comes up. Big numbers for Nyjer Morgan against Derek Lowe, and you see the 3 that are in the lineup today, the 3 lefties, all putting up pretty good numbers against this pitcher.
I mean, 536 for Nyjer Morgan in 28 at bats. I mean, that's a pretty good sample size. Yeah, plus, you know, you want to get your bench players some time. Craig Counsell, his first start. You get Katse out there. When you have a matchup like this with left-handers that have had this kind of success against a good right-hander, why not? Give him a shot to get some at-bats.
Well, Ron Renicky told us before the game that he had told Morgan and Carlos Gomez that Morgan would be in there yesterday. That one is down line and foul. So it's not a reactive move based on anything that happened yesterday, and you'll rarely see that from the new Brewers skipper. He is a communicator, as the players say, and so he's thinking 2, 3, 4 days in advance, and guys know when they're going to play and when they're going to start and what pitcher they'll match up against.
Hey, guys that don't play every day love that. They know when they're going to be in there. No surprises.
Ground ball to Dan Uggla, and Morgan is retired. Second out of the inning. Let's take you back to Derek Lowe's last start, which was his first of the year. He got the opening day call for Freddie Gonzalez, and in D.C. he was very sharp.
Yeah, 5 2/3, allowed only 3 hits, no runs in the win. Jason Worth, a former Philadelphia Philly, said it was the best he's ever seen Derek Lowe throw the baseball. And he's had a nice career. This is his 14th season in the big leagues.
facing Ryan Braun with 2 men out here in the first inning. Derek Lowe not overpowering by any stretch. His fastball will rarely get into the 90-mile-an-hour range, but it's that great command he has, and he works fast. He's a pitcher's pitcher out there. Former closer turned starter Derek Lowe. And he's been a workhorse. Derek Lowe has made at least 30 starts in each of his last 9 seasons. Has never been on the disabled list.
Kind of guy you want to have on your pitching staff for sure. 33 starts last year with 16 wins and a 4.00 ERA.
See the career numbers for Derek Lowe. 384 lifetime earned run average. And he fronts a talented Atlanta Braves starting rotation. And they're not bad at the back end of the bullpen either, as we saw yesterday. Braun takes one just off the plate. Lowe wanted the call.
Yeah, he's already throwing a lot of sliders in the first inning. Look at that little cut fastball, more of a cut than a slider.
Full count to Braun. And he spoils one out of play. Ryan with 2 homers on the young season through the first 4 games, has a couple of RBIs. At the plate, 5 for 15 so far. He's been on base a lot. Braun has scored 5 runs through the first 4 games of the season. Coming back to the slider. And it's down in the dirt. Ryan Braun draws the walk, and the Brewers have a base runner for Prince Fielder in the first inning.
And it's at bats like that we've seen from Ryan Braun. Tough right-hander up there, got behind an account, fought his way for a walk. You know, pitch selection, being patient at the plate. Ryan would love to be able to walk 100 times this year. We'll see. Made very good strides in that department last year.
Boy, if he walks 100 times, imagine the kind of season Prince Fielder could put together as he takes a strike. Prince Fielder led the National League in walks last season. 114 walks. Broke his own team record of 110, which he set back in '09.
It's going to be a lot easier for Prince to walk 100 times than it will be for Ryan Braun.
Braun takes off. Fielder. Oh, what a play by Hinske. And the out recorded at first. Eric Hinske. An outstanding play at first base on a hot ground ball from Fielder. Side retired, and the Brewers come up empty in the first. Brewers. Matter of fact, it's the first night game of the season for the Atlanta Braves. Their first 4 have been mid-afternoon affairs. Brian McCann leads off for Atlanta. Yovani Gallardo, a scoreless first inning, gave up a hit to Nate McLouth, and then a double play ball off the bat of Chipper Jones. And McCann sends one deep to right. Back is Kotze with room. Sounded good off the bat. Obviously got it off the end. Well, we had a chance to visit with Yovani Gallardo. We asked him about what's going to improve this season with his game.
Experience more than anything. I think that's the main thing, and it's a tough game. You know, it's obviously you're going to keep learning year after year, no matter what, till you stop playing. And it's, you know, just the more experience you get, I think the better you understand the game and certain situations and things you want to do and to certain hitters. And I think that's the main thing.
He's only 25 years old, and it seems he's always been around forever. It's on-the-job training for Gallardo, who had a very good year last year, 14-7, a 384 earned run average, and just continues to get better. You know, all the statistics that you can talk about with Gallardo and his year last year, they shut him down at the end of the year. He ended up with 31 starts, but he only allowed 12 home runs all year. That's an incredible number. That's low for this ballpark.
Gallardo has such great stuff. Ron Renicky was commenting on, you know, his new team and guys that he thought he knew before he took over as the skipper. And he said, watching Yovani Gallardo is very impressive. I did not know he had that good of stuff. His counsel makes the play to get Dan Uggla. 2 up, 2 down for Yovani here in the second inning. It's not just that he has good velocity and good breaking stuff, but it's pinpoint command with all of his stuff.
Right, and he had a relatively boring spring, but that's a good thing for an ace pitcher, right? I mean, you don't want to have a whole lot of talk about, hey, Yo's not throwing his curveball, and, you know, Gallardo's, you know, feeling a little bit uncomfortable out on the mound. I mean, every time he went out, he was throwing the ball well. There was none of this trying to, you know, feel comfortable on the mound or just getting his work in. I mean, he had pinpoint control from his first start in spring training, and it continued into Cincinnati.
Gallardo's spring training earned run average in the Hitters Cactus League, 1.96.
Every time out, continued to increase his pitch total, and he was outstanding. And with the injury to Zach Greinke, I don't think the Brewers lost much with Gallardo starting on opening day.
Thought it was interesting, even Zach Greinke watching Gallardo's bullpen sessions this spring, talking about how impressive he is. As Jason Hayward rolls one out to Ricky Weeks, and Yovani is off to a good start. A 3 up, 3 down second inning. 2 scoreless in the book for Yo. Brewers coming up. In baseball, it's just not summer without him. And by Steinhoffels, Wisconsin's #1 furniture and mattress store since 1934. Will this be the day that the Brewers finally put one in the win column? Let's hope so. It's an 0-4 start. Milwaukee trying to get things going here in front of their home fans, losing the opener yesterday. Tough matchup today, though. Derek Lowe, the Braves opening day starter. A scoreless first for Lowe. Now he matches up with Casey McGee to start the second inning. It'll be McGee, Kotze, and Counsell. I know Ron Renicky is anxious to put that winning lineup card in his files. You know, your first victory as a manager is always the special one. As McGee chases that tough slider from Derek Lowe.
Yep, slider, cutter, whatever you want to call it. He's thrown a couple of different ones already tonight. Nothing straight out of the hand of Derek Lowe. Sinker going into right-handers. Slider, cutter going away from him.
McGee with 3 runs batted in through the first 4 games of the season. And Lowe has a good one going early. His second strikeout.
Well, the cutter of the pitch before. This is the slider. Watch the tilt on it. Watch it go down as it gets to the hitting zone. That's a tough pitch to pick up. Hey, register your child to be the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Junior Announcer by picking up an entry form at participating Valvoline Instant Oil Change locations. Call 414-902-4000 for details.
Mark Kotze, his first start in a Brewers uniform at Miller Park. Had a couple of starts in Cincinnati. And anxious to get the home part of the schedule going. He was talking about how much he enjoys hitting at Miller Park. He remembers it from his time with the Braves and certainly his time with the Chicago White Sox in interleague play.
Yeah, good hitting background. You see the ball pretty well.
Well, Derek Lowe, not a guy you go up there thinking about the home run. If you do that, it's going to be a long night at the plate. He's tough to elevate with that sinking fastball of his.
You got to take what he gives you. If he's pitching your way, you got to try and hit it to left field if you're a left-handed batter. You got to shorten up and just try to make contact. Make him get that sinker up in the zone early in the count.
Bouncer out to Alex Gonzalez. He bobbles, but still enough on it to get the out. And the third ground ball out for Derek Lowe. All ground ball and strikeouts so far for Lowe.
They mentioned that Derek Lowe was second in the National League in ground ball to fly ball ratio. You know who was first? His teammate Tim Hudson. So these Atlanta Braves have a couple of pitchers that can get the ground balls.
Now the Brewers will not see Tim Hudson in this series. Mike Minor tomorrow, and then Tommy Hanson will work the finale on Thursday. Good staff, good team, the Atlanta Braves. They're hoping for a return trip to the postseason. There's Tommy Hanson. He'll match up against Sean Markham for the matinee on Thursday. Counsell quickly in a hole, 0-2. Freddie Gonzalez let go last year by the Marlins. And the worst kept secret in baseball that Freddie Gonzalez would end up in a Braves uniform as their skipper. Coached under Bobby Cox in Atlanta. Those two still very good friends. They live near each other outside Atlanta, as if he was groomed for the job.
Hey, you talk to the folks that are around this ball club quite a bit. They say really nothing's changed with respect to the way things operate in the clubhouse and travel, and you know, it's kind of Bobby Cox Jr. and Freddie Gonzalez. And I guess if it worked for Bobby Cox and the Atlanta Braves, why change it, right?
Stick with it. There's a lot of managers who either worked under Bobby Cox as a coach. Ned Yost is another one who basically abides by the same rules and the protocols outside the wide lines. Full count to Counsell. 2 outs in the second inning. I think the Braves feel like every night they're going to send up a starting pitcher that gives them an excellent chance to win. And they are without one of their starters, Jair Jurgens, who is not scheduled to return until mid-April. Little backdoor breaking ball, and Counsell is rung up. And Derek Lowe, a 3-up, 3-down second inning with a couple of strikeouts. A matchup of aces tonight at Miller Park.
First spring training game, and I watched the stuff and I said, wow, so that's impressive. And then I saw another spring training game where we had the home plate and the dugouts were really close. I could not believe the stuff that he has.
And Rock, that is from a man who doesn't go to the hyperbole too often. That's saying a lot coming from Ron Renicky about his opening day starter.
Yeah, and when he's talking about, spring training, the first spring training game, the second spring training game, most starters, that have had experience and really don't have to earn their way on a ball club, they're not giving their best effort early on.
First ball swing at Alex Gonzalez. They had an easy play for Counsell. One away here in the third inning.
He's seen some pretty good ones over there in the American League.
Yes, he has.
I mean, as a player as well. So when he starts talking like that about his starter early in spring training, that'll tell you something. Not only does he have good stuff, Gallardo, but he can put it where he wants to put it. And the encouraging thing this spring that we saw, I mean, he was healthy, he was increasing his pitch count every time, but started to use that changeup a little bit more in spring training. We'll see if that, if he does that in the regular season. Because that changeup, when he first came up, that was his best pitch.
That's one of the main reasons you look at Giovanni Gallardo's minor league statistics. Such great strikeout numbers throughout the minor leagues. And before we saw Giovanni Gallardo, you look at his strikeout numbers when he was in the Brewers system, you think, well, this guy must have an overpowering fastball. He must throw 95 plus. And then we saw him for the first time, and he really featured that great changeup. And it's one of the reasons why he made it to the big leagues so fast, as Ned Yost was managing that team, because of the command of the changeup, which is really a difference maker at the major league level. Those who have it can usually succeed. As Gallardo hits the corner on Hinske.
It's been very fun to watch the transformation of Giovanni Gallardo from his first year to now. The pitches that he throws and when he uses them. It's changed as the years have gone by.
Hinske hits one hard down the line. That's foul. Slices just outside the line. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hey, want to remind you that only CBS 58 has your most important news and your complete first alert weather every night in the first 10 minutes. Make CBS 58's 10 at 10 your nightly choice for news. One thing Ron Renicky did say leading up to this start, for Gallardo, he'd like to see more curveballs, more of the strikeout variety curveballs, the put away pitch, and of course the changeup, such a big part of Gallardo's game as well. But he can win without him. A bouncer. Weeks has it. Gallardo on the run, and he's got it.
Nice
athleticism from the Brewer pitcher, like a receiver going toward the end zone.
Nice job by Ricky Weeks. Prince Fielder going after it. He blocked Ricky off just a little bit. I'm not sure how much Ricky actually saw that baseball, but he stuck with it. And going pretty hard toward the line. A little lob over to Gallardo, who made a nice play himself. That's a very good defensive play by Ricky and Yo. A little drop from heaven right there. And baseball, and he got the heel on the back of the base.
Yeah.
Okay, a little lob playing tennis.
Weeks going back to his football days with that pass leading across the middle. Every time Gallardo goes to first base, though, what's the first thought that pops in your mind?
Chicago. We don't want to think about that, though.
Scary. That's where he blew out his knee covering the bag at first back in 08. Quickly 0-2 on Derek Lowe. The Braves pitcher. High chopper. Counsel all the way across the bag. Plenty of time. And Gallardo is through 3 innings. Shutout baseball for Yo. The Brewers coming to bat. Not quite the 10-gallon variety, but that works for me.
Stylish.
That's a Bill Schroeder kind of hat right there.
That's golf hat.
Nice. Keep the sun off the ears. And then there's Woody. It's that time, isn't it?
He's got his Masters hat on.
Starting Thursday. George Kottaras leads off for the Brew Crew. Derek Lowe has given up just the 1 walk to Ryan Braun. 3 strikeouts already in the first 2 innings. And he is not throwing many pitches out of the strike zone.
And he's thrown a lot of breaking pitches. That's what we were told coming into tonight's start. A lot of breaking pitches, sliders and cutters. taking a little off of that sinker right there at 83 miles an hour. I'm not sure if it's a change up or it's maybe a BP fastball, but it's got quite a bit of movement. Everything he's been throwing is moving a lot.
And Kataris takes a called strike 3. So Lowe makes quick work of George Kataris. And the 4th strikeout for Derek Lowe.
And check out this pitch. It starts about 2 inches off the inside corner and tails right back over. It hits the inside edge. Brian McCann didn't even have to move his glove.
That is a ton of sink. That's reminiscent of the Greg Maddux days with that kind of movement on that side of the plate. Gallardo's up there hacking. Giovanni's still looking for his first hit of the year. Always brings that extra weapon to the National League lineup. Good hitting pitcher, Gallardo. Already has a franchise record for home runs by a pitcher. He has 8 career homers. Little cue shot. And that's going to fall for a base hit. Ugla gave it a dive. But Giovanni Gallardo, it's fitting that the pitcher comes up with the first hit against Derek Lowe.
Yeah, a little scribble on a 0-2 count. Ugla didn't come far from catching that in the air. I think Hinsky and Ugla both thought they had a chance at it. Breaking ball. 0-2. He left it right down the middle of the plate and barely trickles to the right fielder, but it's a base hit.
That is a well-placed
knuckle
base
buster.
hit.
I'll take it.
Doesn't hurt a bit when they fall, do they?
No, not as much.
So back to the top of the order now, and the red-hot Ricky Weeks, who has started the year with 3 home runs in his first 6 hits. 6 for 18 at the plate now. 3 homers, 2 doubles, has 5 runs batted in.
Yeah, he's been seeing the baseball very well. He gets a mistake and he's putting a good swing on it, and the ball just jumps off his bat. Done a nice job last year and into this year using the whole field.
Great matchup tonight of 2 of the top run producing second basemen in the National League, in Ugla and Weeks. He bounces that one foul. Used to be second base was a position on the field where you didn't count on much offense, but it's become a premier power position these days.
Yep. Well, it used to be an on base percentage, top of the order guy, just kind of slap it and poke it. And with Ricky Weeks and Dan Ugla, big offense. Ricky Weeks, a leadoff hitter. Ugla more down in a run-producing spot in the lineup. Tell you, the more you watch Dan Ugla, the more you're impressed at his on-base percentage and his speed. He can run. He really doesn't look like a guy that can motor like he can. Ricky Weeks, of course, he can run.
Well, a couple of guys that got to this level in very different ways. Ricky Weeks, a first-round draft pick, probably rushed to the big leagues, but he's been a guy that people have looked at to be a star from day one. Dan Ugla, meanwhile, was let go by the Diamondbacks. He was a Rule 5 pick, left off the Major League roster before the Marlins picked him up, as Lowe strikes out Ricky Weeks. Boy, Derek Lowe is racking up the Ks. Now, both of these second basemen with home runs yesterday. Ricky Weeks on the left with Dan Ugla on the right, as you look at the screen.
Yeah, look at that point of contact right on that sweet spot. Dan Ugla, similar locations, but Ugla's pitch was a breaking ball. It was a hanging slider from Saito, I should say.
Morgan into left field, a base hit. Well, a career batting average over 500 against Derek Lowe to start this day. And Morgan is 1 for 2. And a big hit at that, first and second, and that gets Ryan Braun to the plate.
That's the approach you have to have against Derek Lowe, the way he sinks his pitches off the corners, in and out. Roger Morgan not trying to pull it. You can't try and pull the ball with Derek Lowe out on the mound. You're right-handed, he's throwing his sliders and keeping the ball away, showing inside for effect with a fastball, but Morgan just got a pitch up in his zone, slapped it to left. Easy concept to understand, very difficult to incorporate though sometimes.
That could be a key at bat early here tonight with Lowe pitching as well as he is. 2 on, 2 out. And one of the Brewers' best hitters up there, and Ryan does not agree with Alan Porter with that strike call.
Well, Alan Porter's had a relatively pitcher's strike zone so far. Greg Counsell got rung up on a backdoor breaking pitch from Lowe that might have been off the corner. A couple of pitches when the Braves were batting. Got a second look from some hitters.
Looked like a similar spot this time, taken for ball 1.
Not often you get a big strike zone these days. Enjoy it when you can get them. Hitters don't like it. They get spoiled with the way the strike zone's called these days.
Two on for the Crew. And Braun takes one low.
And a changeup. That's a tough pitch to lay off of right there. It's a strike until it gets to the cutout of the dirt and then just dies. Drops straight down. That's a good take by Brawny.
A lot of guys would be swinging at that pitch. Now Braun has the count in his favor. Fielder is on deck. You know Lowe is going to come after him here. Braun drew the walk his last time up in the first. And that one's pulled. That is a base hit. Gallardo around third. He will score. Morgan on his way to third. He'll make it without a throw. And now Braun scampering back to first. Ryan Braun gives the Brewers the lead on an RBI single.
And another real nice at bat by Braun. He got a fastball up. Didn't get all of it. Sounded like it was down on the trademark a little bit. But able to sneak it past Chipper Jones at third. There you see the big movement. Not as much movement. A little bit easier to get a contact on up in the zone. And Gallardo saying, here's a lead for me. I'm going to take off. Roger Morgan, good base running to get to third base.
Never hesitated. Now first and third. By the way, that is the first run allowed by Derek Lowe this season. Went 5+ against the Nationals with no runs. But Braun gets to him thanks to the Gallardo single that got the inning started. And now Fielder up there to try to add to it. Brent still looking for his first home run of the year. Has 3 hits this season, 3 for 14 at the plate now. Two of those 3 hits came in one game. That was against Travis Wood of the Reds. The speedy Morgan over at third with Braun at first.
Don't think you're going to see Brawny take off here. You might though. I mean, that's one way to get things going, get the defense moving around a little bit, open up a hole.
Bouncing ball into the shift. And a low throw dug out by Hinsky. Inning over. Fielder strands a couple, but Braun brings one in, and Milwaukee has a 1-0 lead. courtesy of Airtran. If you're just joining us, the Brewers and the Braves, game 2 of this series. And excellent defense. Ricky Weeks connecting with Giovanni Gallardo. Gallardo with 3 scoreless thus far. Derek Lowe off to a great start as well. Has 5 strikeouts through the first 3 innings, but it was Ryan Braun driving in Gallardo for the lone run of the game. The Brewers up 1-0 with their opening day starter on the mound as Gallardo is ready to work in the 4th. Rocky has thrown 32 pitches now through 3+ innings.
And he's faced the minimum. You know, the 1 base hit, the Nate McLeod single with 1 out in the 1st, wiped out with a double play.
Martin Prado back to the top of the order. Second look against Gallardo. Prado, a good hitter. All-star a season ago. Impressive yesterday how he was able to get on top of a high fastball from Takashi Saito. He hit a home run in the 8th inning yesterday.
He got behind in the count 0-2. You know, fought off and took some pitches. Got a 3-2 fastball up and in, and hit it way out of here to left.
Last year he broke his pinky on his right hand. That set him back for a little over a month. Shoots one into the seats and right. It's always an interesting injury to follow for a hitter. Any kind of broken hand, and we'll be watching that with Jonathan Lucroy as well. But there's that vibration in the bat that can leave some memories there.
Yeah, well, Jonathan's doing pretty well. He's starting to play games down in the minor leagues. That's good news. Brewers very encouraged that Lucroy, you know, should be able to join the team when they're hit the next road trip. Maybe in DC, maybe not early in the trip. News not as great for Corey Hart. No timetable set yet for his return.
Still cannot go 100% on his swinging drills or his throwing drills. As Gallardo walks Martin Prado. So the first base runner since the 1st inning, and the first walk issued by Giovanni.
Yeah, follow the Brewers with the MLB.com at-bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking. I use that. Video highlights and more. Text at-bat to 31826 or visit Brewers.com for details. That pitch-by-pitch is neat. You don't have to count the pitches. You know, after an at-bat, you just look to the computer, and it's got it for you. Maybe I shouldn't have given away my secret.
It's trade secret right there, Rock.
Whenever I say, hey, that's a good 7-pitch at bat. They actually count them for you.
They do amazing things these days with technology. It's fun to break that out at the ballpark too. You know, you're here watching the game and get a little technology on your side. You can track the pitches, get some information on the hitter at the plate.
Yep, you don't even have to be here at the ballpark to get all the information. It's neat stuff. How much of the technology that's out there do you think you actually use? I mean, the capability of your computer, I'm probably about 2%.
Yeah, I'm right there. Not much. That's why the IT department always laughs at us.
Mm-hmm.
Two and 1 to count on Nate McLeod. Singled his last time up. Was immediately wiped out on a double play. See the pitch count for Gallardo. Fielder to Counsell. The return. Oh, it is in time, and they're saying fielder lost the ball taken out of his glove. And that's a break for the Brewers, a double play there.
Looked like McLeod stopped running to first base. And took a couple of baby steps as he got to first. Nice throw by Prince, taking his time. And able to get McLeod. Prince taking it out of his glove, tried to flip it out of his glove into his bare hand. Clearly has it in the glove, and a good call over at first base by Bill Miller.
So 2 outs, the second double play turn for the Brewers. That one goes 3-6-3 as Jones out to counsel, and Gallardo puts up another 0 against the Atlanta Braves. To the bottom of the fourth, Casey McGee ready to lead off. He saves 2 of them. You could make an educated guess on 1 of them. Casey McGee leads off against Derek Lowe. Brewers with a run on 3 hits, all 3 hits coming last inning. Stringing together 3 singles against Derek Lowe. Boy, look at the movement on that sinker. Man.
I don't think that Derek Lowe has thrown a pitch over about 88 miles an hour. And it's all about movement for Lowe. Check this out. That's like a cutter.
It's like a wiffle ball.
It is. Throwing a wiffle ball with a big stiff breeze blowing around. I mean, that's how that ball moves.
Well, he's 6'6" to start, so right away he's standing so tall on the mound. And a lot of movement. Good angles from Derek Lowe. McGee lays off that tough breaking ball.
Yeah, they've been saying that Derek Lowe's been standing a little bit straighter up when he delivers the baseball. Looks to me like he's pushing off pretty good off that back leg.
Yeah, McGee is down on strikes.
And when you do that, you stand a little bit tall. Now, I learned this from Pete Vukovich. He said if you want your pitches to sink, just don't bend your legs as much. You finish with a stiff front leg, which Lowe does. And automatically, you shorten your stride. You finish with a stiff front leg, and your pitches are automatically going to sink. And it looks as though that's exactly what Derek Lowe has incorporated, although he's always had a good sinker.
Kotze down the line, foul. Just got out ahead of one. Kotze is another one of those guys in the Brewer lineup that had such good numbers against Lowe that Ron Renicky wanted to make sure he was in there. And Redicky was telling us earlier he's not necessarily a statistical matchup type manager, but when there are numbers that jump off the page at you, like Nyjer Morgan hitting .536 against Lowe, or Kotsay hitting nearly .400 against Derek Lowe, it's a no-brainer.
Well, ordinarily, Kotsay is another guy that can shoot the ball pretty well to the opposite field, and that's what you have to do against a guy like Lowe. If you try and pull the baseball, that's exactly what he wants you to do. Nyjer Morgan did a nice job taking it to left. We saw Kotsay do that quite well in spring training. And those are the guys who are going to have success against Derek Lowe.
Kotsay still looking for his first hit of the year. He's 0 for 8 to start the season. One ball, 2 strikes on Mark Kotsay. Came to the Brewers from the White Sox, signed a free agent contract, had a number of inquiries from West Coast teams. Kotsay's from Southern California, but as he looked at all of the opportunities, he felt like Milwaukee was the best opportunity. Chance to come off the bench, make an impact as a pinch hitter, get reunited with his old friend Craig Counsell.
He's been a big leaguer for 15 years now. He's had a nice career.
Over to Chipper Jones. And Lowe has the first 2 out in the 4th inning. It's Craig Counsell. How about the junior announcer right there?
Into it. I like it. I think he's gunning for Rob Edwards' job.
Very nicely done.
I think he's been practicing.
A lot of kids get in front of the mic, they get a little gun shy.
Right.
And they kind of minimize it. Not this kid. He's belting it out.
That's a great thing they do at a lot of the ballparks. They give a kid the first 3 outs in an inning every night. You probably did that when you were young, right?
Yeah. Sitting up in the stands. I never got asked to do it for real.
What?
Just sit up in the stands. Just talking away.
5 years old, pretending you're doing a radio broadcast, right?
And you catch that backhand from your dad. Shut up. It's kind of like right now, actually.
Is that what Paco would be doing right now?
Yeah, but you've replaced Paco in that category.
Instead of the backhand, I just give you a look, right?
Just pound him with enough sugar until he just completely crashes. He'll be out by the 5th inning. Counsell down the right field line. Fair or foul? That one is a foul ball. Had enough legs on it.
Yeah, not by much. Craig Counsell, although he's 40 plus, able to turn on that fastball up and in. Just not quite able to keep it fair. Talked to Dale Swaim. He says, who's your best fastball hitter? He's not afraid to turn on one. He said Counsell's not bad. Up and in. He went 2 strikes.
And another 2-2 right back in there comes Lowe, and he misses. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Counsell getting the start at short tonight for Yudesky Betancourt. Full count, 2 outs. Counsell hangs in there.
And last time up, Derek Lowe got counts on a 3-ball, 2-strike backdoor cutter or slider, whatever you want to call it. This time coming in with a fastball, and Craig able to stay alive.
And a well-placed brace on his right ankle. See what Lowe does with him here. Another 3-2. Tried to backdoor him, and Lowe walks him. Two-out base runner.
Tried it again. He just missed this time.
Listen to this, Rock. Oh,
Number 16.
the junior announcer's gone. It's only the first 3 batters.
Yeah, didn't I say that?
Yeah, but I didn't think you actually had it right. It was like the first time all year. We were so excited to hear our junior announcer.
Yeah, now a lot of this stuff makes sense to me. No, I get it.
I mean, nothing against Rob Edwards, but I'm saying if the kid is barking out the names, and I mean, just let him go, right?
Yeah. I don't make the rules.
Well, you should. But he's the pro, and he's one of the best in the business, Rob Edwards.
The voice of the Miller Park.
Probably just kicked that kid right out of there. Beat it, kid.
You're too good.
Counsell takes off. Throw to second, and Counsell knocks the ball out of the glove of Gonzalez, a stolen base.
Yeah, ball sailed a little bit on McCann. He dropped the arm. That throws on the bag. I think they get Craig, but it wasn't. That was a good effort by Gonzalez to be able to get that baseball and drop the tie, but Craig able to knock it out of his glove. The benefits of sliding feet first.
Yeah, that's right. Good point. So a stolen base for the running Brewers of 2011 under Ron Renicky. And now a base hit can produce a run.
Let's see how aggressive Derek Lowe and the Braves want to be with George, with Gallardo on deck, with first base open.
That's what having a pitcher that can hit and who is a threat at the plate can do for you. The 2-1 down in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. Qatar is 1 for 5 on the young season in a hitter's count. And Lowe spins one in, a strike, 3-2. Coming right after him, isn't he?
Boy, he's throwing a lot of breaking pitches. Yep, 3-2. He threw the slider. He threw a slider on 3-1.
Every time he's needed a strike, he's gone with a breaking ball for the most part. Gallardo on deck. Counsell out at second, and the 3-2. And Kataris hits it hard into left field. Prado is there. Well positioned as Martin Prado makes a catch. And the Brewers come up empty in the 4th. off too. Only the third player in the history of the game to home run in his first 4 games. The Yankees beating the Twins for the 14th time in the last 15. And Marlon Byrd 3 for 4 today against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Cubs let a lead get away, then had to come back and win that one. I saw one of those Twins wins against the Yankees. It was Jason Kubel hit a grand slam off Mariano Rivera. They were down in that game late as well. It's the only one.
Yep, last year.
Here at Miller Park, it is 1-0 Brewers as McCann out to Weeks. Got sawed off a little bit. McCann is 0 for 2.
Yeah, well placed fastball by Gallardo and able to jam McCann just a little bit. And well located. You get that pitch a little bit out over the plate. I think McCann's going to find a gap with it.
Here's Dan Uggla with 1 away. Well, with the Brewers taking the lead here in this game, the first lead with a run in the 3rd inning, they have actually led in every game this season, all 5.
Yeah.
They have had the first lead. And still looking for win number 1. 2 late leads that got away.
Early leads, but very small leads. You know, since the opener in Cincinnati, the bats have been quite silent.
Mike Vasallo had a cheer him up note in his game notes today. Did you see that, Rock? All 8 teams who qualified for the playoffs last year endured a losing streak of at least 4 games at some point of the season last year. There he is. Mike Vasallo.
It's awfully difficult to get through a 162 game schedule without doing that. You get into a bit of a rut, maybe a rough travel schedule, but you certainly don't want to do it to start the year. It hurts a little bit more when you do it then.
Two and 2 to Uggla. Just got a piece. The Brewers trying to become the first team since the '99 Diamondbacks to begin the season 0-4 and make it to the playoffs. It's interesting, as Vasallo writes, courtesy of the Elias Sports Bureau. 6 teams in Major League Baseball history have made it to the postseason after an 0-4 start. I'd forgotten about the '95 Reds. They were 0-6 to start the season. Made the playoffs that year and did not return to the playoffs until last season. 3-2 pitch. Uggla breaks his bat. This is Counsell. Just gets Dan Uggla. 2 gone, and here comes Jason Hayward. And speaking of feats, Jason Hayward has homered in his first at bat of the last 2 seasons. That at bat last year was his first in the big leagues. And then his first at bat in 2011, homered against Livan Hernandez in support of Derek Lowe on opening day against the Nationals last Thursday.
He got off to a quick start to his big league career. I'm not just talking about his first at bat, but his first, month and a half. Big numbers. Kind of quieted down a bit in the second half. Still overall pretty good numbers for a rookie. Jason Hayward, nice season last year.
Played in 142 games. He was injured a great deal. There were a couple of stints on the DL, on the disabled list, but still hit 18 homers and 72 ribbies. He was probably, until the All-Star break, the top pick to win the Rookie of the Year.
Right.
And then Buster Posey took over with the world champion Giants, and they made the right choice. Hayward finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting to Posey. 2 balls, 1 strike. 3-1. Well, in his rookie season, he ranked first among rookies in the National League last season in on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and walks. Gets jammed, a little flare, and it'll fall foul.
Good fastball right there. But he was the real deal. He got off to a great start with good power to the opposite field. And one of those rookies that come along ever so rarely and made the All-Star team in his first year.
Yeah, Hayward selected to the All-Star team a year ago. Could not participate. Had a left thumb injury. Kept him out of the game. And you remember who the starter was in right field for the National League last year?
Corey Hart.
Corey Hart.
Yep, 6'5", 240 pounds. Big man. Born in 1998, partner.
98.
I should say 89.
Just missed. Boy, that looked like a good pitch.
A little dyslexia going. 1989.
Where'd this one miss?
Must have been inside. That plate has been a little bit big all night, but apparently Alan Porter didn't like that pitch.
And Ron Renicky did not like that call. So that is a walk for Gallardo, his second walk. It's just the third base runner for Atlanta. 2 outs in the inning. And a strike to Gonzalez. Gonzalez swung at the first pitch his last time up. Goes up there thinking, all right, I'm going to take a pitch. I'm going to see this guy. And he blisters a fastball right down the middle. A good looking curveball from Gallardo. And it's 0-2 on Gonzalez.
Yeah, nice sharp breaking curveball and going straight down. That's the good one right there. Not a big break, but very late and quick. You'd much rather have the latter than the big loopy curveball that hitters can see early.
See what he gives him here. 0-2. Back to the curveball. Hits it off the bounce. That's a fair ball. That ball's playable as Gallardo makes the play to first. Alex Gonzalez does his Yogi Berra impersonation. And he's retired 1-3.
I'm not sure what he's arguing about.
Even though it bounces, that's playable. Nothing to argue about.
Right.
Giovanni Gallardo ready to lead off here against Derek Lowe. And it was his hit that started the run producing inning. It was a 1-out single by Gallardo, the first hit for the Brewers against Derek Lowe. And then Braun drove him in with a single with 2 outs. Braun got down the count, 2 strikes quickly against Derek Lowe in that inning as well.
Yeah, Brawny's put together 2 nice at bats tonight.
Well, Alex Gonzalez grounds out. He tried to check his swing, but made contact after it hit the ground.
It counts in cricket and baseball.
That's right.
Just like if you get hit by a pitch that bounces, it's still a hit by pitch.
Alex Gonzalez channeling his inner Vladdy Guerrero.
And you see Vladdy hit doubles on balls that bounce.
That's right. Ron Renick's had a front row seat to a number of those. As Gallardo strikes out and fires the bat into the stands. That is strikeout number 7 for Derek Lowe.
Yeah, what new? A breaking pitch. Been a lot of breaking pitches from Derek Lowe today. Everybody all right?
Yeah. He caught that lady in the front row right in the head. So 1 away and back to the top of the order now. Ricky Weeks. Lowe has struck out Weeks twice. Gallardo working on a 1-hitter at this point. 5 shutout innings. The only hit was a first inning single by Nate McLouth. Chipper Jones, nice easy hop. And Weeks is retired. 2 gone here in the 5th. Now our Subway trivia. The 2 active pitchers to have at least 80 wins and 80 saves. And there it is. Derek Lowe and Ryan Dempster. Lowe was converted from closer to starter prior to the 02 season. The only 2 that have been able to do it. Matter of fact, Derek Lowe, that no-hitter came in his first year as a starting pitcher. And he's in some pretty good company as well as one of 3 pitchers to have thrown a no-hitter and have had a 40-save season.
Yeah, 2000 with the Red Sox had 42 saves.
Dave Righetti and Dennis Eckersley, the other 2 on that list. Very successful closer turned starting pitcher, Derek Lowe. He actually is in the record books by himself in one other category. In 2002, the year he posted 20 wins for the Red Sox, he became the first pitcher in MLB history to have a 20-plus win season after recording a 20-plus save season. This game's been around a long time, and to be the only one to have ever accomplished a feat in Major League Baseball, like Derek Lowe has, that's saying something.
Yes, it is.
As obscure as it might be.
And it's not often you go from a closer to a starter. It's more common to do the other way around.
Nigel Morgan with a base hit.
Something else, isn't it?
His second hit today, Ron Renick.
The success that he has against Derek Lowe, incredible. A 1-2 pitch. This time able to pull it into right. It was a breaking ball down and in. Missed his spot with it, and Nigel Morgan able to rip it into right. Let's see if Morgan tries to steal a base here.
Now this will be interesting. A good case study early. The skipper pushed the right button with Morgan in the lineup. Does he let him run with Braun at the plate?
Well, if you're thinking about home runs, I mean, you kind of somewhat forget a little bit about that with Lowe out on the mound. He doesn't give up many. So you get Morgan into scoring position and wait for the single. This is one of those situations where Ron Renicky said in spring training, I'm not going to sit back and wait for the big homer. I'm going to try and make something happen. And this is a situation where you might see him run.
And Lowe will pay close attention to Nyjer Morgan. Braun had a base hit that gave the Brewers the lead, the only run of the game so far. A 2-out, 2-strike RBI single in the third inning. Snuck it past Chipper Jones at third base. Braun trying to give Morgan a chance to run. That's why he squares to bunt there.
He's trying to keep the catcher back a little bit. That's why you wave that bat, maybe lose sight of it ever so slightly, slow the release down to second base. Ryan will give him one shot, not another one. If he likes it, he's going.
Braun had a good cut. Morgan started then stopped. Didn't feel like he got a good jump. He's doing a little housekeeping over there at the bag.
Had a tough time keeping his footing over there. A couple of times when he's gone back to first, it looks as though he's slipped a bit.
Morgan stole 34 last year, but he led the National League in times caught as well. Stays put. Braun takes a ball. 1-2. Last night the Brewers were cruising along in the game with a 1-0 lead. Opportunities came up to add to that lead, and Milwaukee did not cash in. They were 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. They'd love to give Gallardo some insurance. Morgan takes off, and Braun is off the glove of Hinske. Morgan on his way to third, and he'll stop there. Good strong throw into the plate from Hayward. As Braun shoots one off the glove of the first baseman, Eric Hinske.
I tell you, any kind of bobble out and right, and Nyjer Morgan was going to score. He was screaming around third base. Eddie Cedar put up the stop sign. Morgan had to slide to stop and get back to third. Boy, another beautiful at bat by Ryan Braun. Watch the way he covers the outside corner here. Beautiful swing by Browning. Hit a bullet right off of Hinske's glove. And had Hinske not got a piece of that ball, it would have been down the corner, or it would have been a run. Watch Morgan. Get on down and get back. I love watching him play.
He brings a little spice to the ballpark. You're going to be seeing a lot more of Nyjer Morgan, I got a feeling.
Yep, and he's thinking, I'm scoring, and then he gets the stop sign. Look how far down toward home Eddie Cedar is.
It's a good call by Ed Cedar. He would have been dead to rights at the plate, but the one thing with Morgan's speed and the late stop sign by Ed Cedar, he made Hayward make that throw, and you never know what'll happen.
A little bit has to do with the guy coming up. He still would have been out by plenty, but with Prince Fielder coming up, yeah, I guess you don't take that chance.
So here's Fielder. Golden opportunity here. Braun with 2 hits, Morgan with 2 hits. Both are on here for Fielder with 2 away in the 5th. And Prince takes a little changeup down low. Fielder looking for his first run batted in of the season. 2-0.
Every fastball to Prince from Derek Lowe has been in off the corner.
George Sherrill getting loose. Hard throwing left-hander in Freddie Gonzalez bullpen. Fielder, a ground ball. The shortstop Gonzalez on the shift, and Lowe pumps the fist. He knows he gets out of a mess right there. WMLW is presented by American TV, American Furniture, Electronics, and Appliances. Bring it home. And by the Miller Lite Vortex Bottle. Taste greatness. Under the lights of Miller Park, Tuesday night baseball here on WMLW, and the Brewers and the Braves hooked up at another dandy. Gallardo has given up just one hit, 1-0 Milwaukee on a Ryan Braun RBI single in the third inning. Gallardo against Eric Hensky, batting in the 8th spot in the lineup. Derek Lowe is on deck for Atlanta. Well, the Brewers with a great opportunity to add to it. Fielder grounding out to end the inning and stranding 2 more, and Prince has left 5 on here tonight against Derek Lowe. And all 3 occasions he's been up with men on base, Fielder has been the final out of the inning. The only hit against Gallardo was a first inning single by Nate McLouth.
Yeah, he's been terrific. For the second consecutive start, locating everything, breaking pitches down in the strike zone, and working ahead in the count.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Hensky, who's 0 for 1, and he got it.
Big curveball. 79 miles an hour. And look at the location down in the dirt. That's where you want to put a 2-strike curveball.
Hard to believe that's Gallardo's first strikeout. Pitch number 70 on the way to Derek Lowe at strike 1. Gives you an idea of how impressed Freddie Gonzalez is with Lowe on the mound.
It's 1-0. He's his best option right now.
That's right. No, Gallardo has allowed just 3 base runners. 2 of those 3 were immediately wiped out with double plays. And no Brave has reached second base. This is Ricky Weeks. 2 gone. Well, normally Gallardo racks up the strikeouts, but here tonight he's been pitching to contact.
Guys have been attacking early. I mean, Chipper Jones has seen 2 pitches and has grounded out twice. And you have a guy out there that's been throwing the ball as well as Gallardo has. You don't want to get the 2 strikes. There's the hit that ended up starting a rally. And that was back in the 3rd.
Gallardo has scored the only run of this game. And the numbers so far. But now he is up against the Atlanta lineup for the 3rd time. Martin Prado walked his last time up. And he takes a strike. Gallardo just peppering that outside corner.
Yep, 92 miles an hour and well located. It's one thing to get ahead strike 1, but it's another thing to put it where he just did.
Quickly 0-2 on Prado.
And getting more confident with that curveball as we move on. That was a good one. That might have been his best one, that last one.
And a fastball missed. 2-2 to Martin Prado. One of the 3 base runners for Atlanta in this game. 2-2. In the air, left center field. Nyjer Morgan will close on it. Runs it down in left center. Inning over. Gallardo a 3-up, 3-down 6th. And he is twirling a gem here tonight at Miller Park. Your favorite classic sitcoms are on MeTV. Shows like MASH, Cheers, The Dick Van Dyke Show. MeTV now playing in Milwaukee on digital 49.1. What a ball game going tonight. Gallardo working on a one-hitter. 6 shutout innings on the board. The Brewers lead 1-0. And Derek Lowe back on the mound. The only run he gave up was back in the 3rd. Casey McGee beats one into the ground. Chipper Jones makes a play for out number 1.
Derek Lowe has only allowed 1 fly ball out tonight. That was that line drive off the bat of George Kotaris. That was back in the 4th. A lot of ground balls and strikeouts.
See Eric O'Flaherty, the left-hander, one of 3 lefties in the bullpen for Freddie Gonzalez. That's the breakdown for Derek Lowe tonight. 7 strikeouts. Not typically a strikeout pitcher, but he is tonight.
Hey, his career high happened last year in September. 12 strikeouts against the Nationals.
If you took a bet between Gallardo and Lowe and who would have 7 strikeouts and who would have 1 at this point, I don't think anybody would have gone for Derek Lowe with the 7. But that's the way it's been.
But that's a good thing for Gallardo. His pitch count's down. He's getting some outs early in counts.
Now, Gallardo's pitch count under 80. Meanwhile, Derek Lowe, this is number 103.
Strikeouts are overrated. Sometimes you'd like to get them. You know, a guy at 3rd, less than 2. But you can get that maybe 1st, 2nd, 3rd pitch ground ball or fly ball. Nothing wrong with that.
Strikeouts make much better video for highlights.
Right.
The 3-1 to Katse. Ball 4. And a base runner with 1 out. 2nd walk, make it the 3rd walk issued by Derek Lowe. And Freddie Gonzalez thinking about it here. Carlos Gomez will come in to run for Katse. And you'll likely see Gomez stay in to play center field.
And maybe steal a base. More importantly, that's a big run over there at 1st.
Brewers could use an add-on. Here's Counsell now. Walked his last time up, had a steal. And a strike to Counsell. Gomez always a threat to run. Had an excellent stolen base percentage last year when he got on. He was a real threat on the base paths. Gomez caught just 3 times last year. 18 stolen bases. Stays put. Counsell fouls it away, and it's 0-2 on Craig Counsell.
Little bit on, little bit off, little cut, little sink. Tough to square up on this guy.
String of lefties here in the Brewer lineup. Katse, Counsell, and Kotaris. Well, obviously Freddie Gonzalez feels good about Derek Lowe against these lefties. He had O'Flaherty up and ready, but he sticks with his ace. We'll see what one more base runner would do to the decision making. Gomez started and stopped. It's a bouncer, and Ugla puts the tag on Gomez. They get the out at first. Gomez could not avoid it. That's a big league play by Dan Ugla to get 2 outs And that ends the inning. So the Brewers come up empty again. They get a 1-out walk. And a double play finishes it off for Dave.
But he's behind 1-0. Yvonne Gallardo, 1 strikeout, but he's only faced 1 over the minimum. 1 strikeout, 3 walks. He's only allowed 1 base hit, and he's contributed offensively, scoring the only run of the ball game after Ryan Braun's single with 2 outs. Gallardo scored the only run in the 3rd inning.
That's been it. He's made it stand up so far as Carlos Gomez stays in to play center field. Nigel Morgan moves over to right. So the Brewers are shored up defensively now. Their best outfield they have available. And Gallardo going to work against Nate McLouth. McLouth has the only Atlanta hit. It was a single in the 1st inning. This will be the key inning for Gallardo with McLouth, Chipper Jones, and Brian McCann. And the 3rd time through the batting order. 3 balls and a strike.
There's a changeup right there by Yo. Good to see him using that pitch again.
He's at 82 pitches. Broken bat. Got to hurry. Fielder to Gallardo right there for him. 3-1 on the putout. And 1 away in the 7th as Gallardo shatters the bat of McLouth in a hitter's count.
Yeah, good fastball in on his knuckles. In a hitter's count and ate him up inside. A good job by Gallardo to get there and a good feed by Prince.
Seems like that plays a lot easier coming off the heels of spring training, just a week removed, right? They do it every day in the spring.
Every single day ad nauseum, but that's why they do it, to make it routine.
Here's Chipper Jones now. Chipper Jones has grounded out on the first pitch in his first 2 at-bats. Finally takes one here. Always a dangerous hitter. And that one is hit in the air to left, playable for Ryan Braun. 2 gone. Hey, don't forget the Brewers and the Braves are back in action tomorrow. And if you can't be here with us at Miller Park, we're on television on Fox Sports Wisconsin. 6:30 is airtime for Brewers Live. The finale of the series is Thursday, a matinee. And then the Cubs come to town on Friday. We're back here on WMLW. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. With Gallardo going as well as he is, it probably allows Renicky barring extra innings, to go with Sergio Mitre as the starter tomorrow. But Renicky was holding that close to the vest because you never know about today. One thing it does, if you use your long man in a spot start, it takes him out of not just that day, but obviously the next day and maybe the next 2 days.
Right. Mitre really the only guy that's extended enough to be able to start. Brewers would have been in a bind had they had to use Mitre today.
And if they have to use Mitre later, if you get into an extra innings situation, then the Brewers have an option in the minor leagues in Marco Estrada. Hope it doesn't come to that. Nice play, Ricky Weeks. Gallardo churning along. He's got a chance to finish this one. Giovanni is through 7. He's given up just 1 hit. Now we'll see if the Brewers can swing the bats and give him a little insurance. By authority of the Milwaukee Brewers, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers. A tight one here at Miller Park, 1-0 Brewers. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, our Feldco call to the pen. The left-hander Eric O'Flaherty on the pitch, as he'll face George Gutaris to start the inning, a left-handed batter.
Third appearance, he's got an opponent batting average of .333. Does not allow a run. Last year for O'Flaherty, 56 games, all out of the bullpen for the Braves, and a .245 earned run average. It's a very good bullpen for the Atlanta Braves.
They have a little finesse and they have some power. We saw some of that power yesterday. George Gutaris 0 for 2 tonight, but in a game where his pitcher is working on a 1-hit shutout, you have to give him a lot of credit behind the plate.
Doing a tremendous job catching Gallardo tonight, putting down all the right fingers. It's all about tempo out there on the mound. I mean, when you have a catcher and a pitcher working together, somewhat thinking along the same lines, I mean, it really, bodes well. I mean, you got things going quickly. The pitcher doesn't have to shake off, and when a pitcher's thinking one thing and the catcher's thinking the same, I think they realize each other that's the right pitch, and they believe in what they're throwing.
George down 0-2. Bounces that one in. I saw the other day where Roy Halladay, speaking of that pitcher-catcher relationship, Halladay won the Cy Young last year in the National League, his second Cy Young award, and he put a box in front of Carlos Ruiz's locker last week. He opened it up. It was an exact replica of the Cy Young award. That's how much Halladay thought of his catcher behind the plate all season.
Thought his catcher deserved it too, right?
That's right. One gone here in the 7th. Say, are you a sports fanatic? Then CBS 58 has everything you're looking for, including all the latest on your Milwaukee Brewers. The Sports Fanatics every Sunday morning at 10:30 on CBS 58. And a nice hand for Yovani Gallardo. Third plate appearance for Gallardo. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the 3rd, the first Brewers hit, and he has scored the only run of the game. Ryan Braun drove him in with a single with 2 outs in the 3rd. Oh, had a good cut.
He does not get cheated at the plate. That was a very hittable fastball by O'Flaherty, up in the zone, out over the plate. Bingo, just missed it.
Gallardo hit 4 homers last year, which doubled his career total.
And all of them pretty important home runs too. I mean, we're not talking about home runs up or down a bunch. Game-changing home runs.
That was hit hard to right, but right at Jason Hayward. Oh, Gallardo got good wood on it. And 2 men are out. Visual proof. Gallardo might not need his bat the rest of the way, but it seems like he's always helping his own cause in tight games like the one in San Diego. And then he went deep in Florida. Had a home run against the Houston Astros. He knew that was gone. You don't see many pitchers know they're gone. And opposite field, yep, he's got that kind of power too. That was against Edinson Volquez of the Reds last July. So he is a weapon at the plate. See if his time at the plate comes back around again.
If I were a betting man, I would imagine Ron Renicky very glad that he's not out there running the bases right now. The run would be nice, but I think that the rest would serve him better right now at this point.
That's not to say he wouldn't mind seeing Gallardo jog around the bases.
No, I'm not saying he wouldn't take a double or a triple, but even a single. But you don't want Yo out there on the bases running around. Save your energy.
Two men are out. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ricky Weeks. Weeks has struck out twice and grounded out. All 3 of those at bats against Derek Lowe. First chance against the lefty O'Flaherty. This game shaping up much like yesterday's game against Atlanta. Except Gallardo is trying to secure a different ending. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Weeks. Count goes full. Chris Narveson was terrific yesterday. 6 shutout.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Good changeup, curveball, the cut fastball. Could not ask for much more out of Narveson yesterday in the home opener.
Chopper to Chipper Jones in time for the out. 1, 2, 3. O'Flaherty retires the Brewers in order. It's a tight one in Milwaukee tonight. We go to the 8th.
7th, 2011. If you're in 6th through 8th grade and your school is located in the 5-county area, you could win as part of Score for Excellence Day presented by Gordon Flesh. Have your parents visit Brewers.com/score for information.
Gallardo back on the mound as we go to the 8th inning. Dan Uggla to lead off. And a 1-0 Milwaukee lead. Uggla hits one hard into left, a base hit. And that's the first hit for the Braves since the first inning.
A breaking ball that Dan Uggla was able to wait back on. It was a breaking ball that he hit out of the ballpark yesterday to give the Braves a 2-1 lead in the 8th. A slider that stayed in the middle part of the plate. One of the few mistakes that Gallardo has made today.
First base runner for Atlanta since the 5th as Cameron Lowe begins to get loose. Now Jason Hayward. And Gallardo deals him a strike. His fastball still has good life on it.
Yep, he's been around 91, 92 all night with that fastball, and that was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball to start him off.
Only 4 base runners in this game, 2 hits and 2 walks for Gallardo as Hayward lifts one in the air in the infield. Casey McGee wants it, and the first out of the inning. Alex Gonzalez now 0 for 2. Gonzalez so fooled his last time up, he actually put a ball in play on the bounce. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Qatar's throw, wrong side of the bag. Uggla's off the bag. He's out.
Overslid the bag. That'll go down as a caught stealing for Qataris. And he went by the bag quite a bit. It'll go down as a 2-4 putout and erases the potential tying run.
A big out and a big mistake as Uggla, trying to avoid the tag from Weeks, goes over the base.
A lot of guys make that tag at second base and forget about it, but Ricky staying right on it, and Uggla never really got down a whole lot, did he? If George gets that ball right on the bag, he's out easily, but it wasn't.
Well, and you see where his cleat on the heel sent him across the bag. There's a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. So the Braves have had 4 base runners tonight, and on 3 occasions those base runners have been wiped out. Crowd behind him. Lays off. 2-2. Broken bat. And it's going to be Counsell. Long throw in time. Giovanni Gallardo. A masterpiece tonight at Miller Park. A 2-hit shutout through 8. Not much going on tonight offensively. It has been a matchup of great pitching between Yovani Gallardo and Derek Lowe. Lowe went 7 innings, just 1 run. Braun drove in that run with an RBI in the 3rd inning, scoring Gallardo a 2-strike, 2-out hit. As Nyjer Morgan leads off, fouls one away here in the bottom of the 8th. Gallardo is still on the bench. 8 shutout innings. Has just 1 strikeout. His pitch count is just shy of 100 right now, and might be one of the tougher decisions Ron Renicky has had to make. Obviously, he's made it. Gallardo is.
Yeah, it'd be tough to pull him out of this one.
Sitting on the bench, looking like he's ready for the 9th. What a performance tonight from Gallardo.
Yeah, incredible.
Back-to-back,
very good starts for Yo, and back-to-back starts to start this homestand. Narveson last night, Gallardo tonight.
14 combined shutout innings for the 2 starting pitchers. As Narveson went 6 shutout yesterday. Morgan's had a nice night. 2 hits, 2 for 3. Both of his hits against Derek Lowe. This was a ballpark designed for triples, and you'd love to see Nyjer Morgan exploit that a few times this year. A soft fly ball. Hayward, oh, he can't get it. He underran it. And look at Morgan run. The throw from McLeod. He's in there. A belly flop.
Boy, what was that out and right? Did he lose it in the lights? I'm not sure. He was there. He just missed it. And McLeod didn't back it up very well. He was too close to it. And Nyjer Morgan with his 3rd base hit, if in fact it's going to be a hit. A lot of air underneath it, but Jason Hayward just flat missed it. Nyjer Morgan on his horse. Once he saw that ball hit the ground, he knew he was going to go to 3rd. And that's a big run standing at 3rd base. They're going to give him a hit.
That's going to be a triple. I don't think Robin Yount had it penciled in that way when he helped design this ballpark, but it's a triple nonetheless.
You just said it.
I didn't see it that way.
Why don't you say it's a home run ballpark now coming up?
It's an intentional walk ballpark at this moment, as Braun will be placed at first.
This is not something that you see a whole lot of, walking Ryan Braun to get the Prince, but you have the left-hander out there playing the percentages.
So Braun draws the walk. Fielder is coming up. And a leadoff triple. I've never seen a triple to this part of the ballpark before, but look at Hayward's calling, and then he just lost it.
He just missed it. He overran it. Nate McLeod realized that he was in trouble. Tried to make the diving catch. That's why Morgan was able to get all the way around to 3rd base.
It looked as routine as possible when it left the bat. But Morgan ends up at 3rd. And a big opportunity here as Fielder stands in, looking for a little redemption. Fielder has been up there with base runners on all night. He's stranded 5 tonight.
Well, Prince had some very good at-bats in Cincinnati against left-handed pitching. Talk about those 2 base hits off of Travis Wood, both on sliders away, and he banged them right back into the middle, into center field. Needs to do that here. You know O'Flaherty is going to go after him with the slider.
Infield playing halfway in. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th. And Fielder had a good cut.
Yeah, had a good one to hit. Just a tick off it.
Prince, a bouncing ball. Uggla's got it. He's coming to the plate. Morgan slides, and he's out at home. Dan Uggla with a perfect strike to the plate. With his momentum going away from the action, makes a perfect throw to get the lead runner.
Yeah, good arm. Nigel Morgan had a very good jump off of third base. Taking that secondary lead. Here he comes. That's why you play halfway. If they were in double play depth, you would have had Uggla more up the middle. That would have been not only a run score, but it would have been a base hit for Prince. Covering as much ground as they possibly could, and they were able to cut him off at home plate.
That is a nice play from Dan Uggla. And fielder comes up empty again. And a pitching change here for Freddie Gonzalez. Casey McGee is coming up. And the Brewers still have something cooking here with 2 on and 1 out. We'll take a break, set up the new pitcher when we come back. On this game defensively tonight, cutting down Nigel Morgan at the plate. But the Brewers still with 2 on. Casey McGee coming up, and the former Brewer Scott Linebrink is on the pitch.
Yeah, Linebrink was a midseason acquisition in 07. Spent the last 3 years with the White Sox. He's always been a very dependable middle reliever and a setup man. In his 3rd appearance tonight, a split-fingered fastball, a slider, and a pretty good sinker, but not a Derek Lowe type sinker.
2 on, 1 out for McGee. The Brewers need a big hit with a man in scoring position. They have just 1 tonight. That was Braun back in the 3rd. McGee fouls it away. Braun and fielder aboard. And the Brewers' best run producer from a season ago at the plate, Casey McGee. His bat, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Braun got a late start, and now he's going to try to score. Here comes a throw. Braun is out at home. Prado, a perfect throw to the plate.
Well, Brawny didn't get a very good read off of that bat. I mean, that ball was a jam shot off the bat of Casey. Much different angle when you're down on the field, but if he took off right away, he would have scored easily all the way on in the air, and a nice sweep tag by Brian McCann. So the Brewers with 2 outs at home plate. Brawny was barely at third base when Prado got the ball in his hand, and a beautiful tag by Brian McCann for the 2nd straight time. That's not an easy tag right here, and able to get him just before that foot comes down on home plate.
Alan Porter in a perfect position to call that play. 2 outs now, second and third. 2 outs at the plate in this inning. And it's Gomez who pops up on the first pitch. Boy, big opportunity lost. The inning is over. We go to the ninth. 1-0 Milwaukee. Giovanni Gallardo on the doorstep of a shutout tonight. 1-0 Milwaukee. Giovanni has 3 career complete games. 2 of those came last season. The other one back in 2009. And of the 3, 2 have been of the shutout variety. And it's going to require a shutout for a victory in regulation here tonight. Gallardo against Eric Hinsky in the 9th. Counted a miss.
Well, you know, it was a tough decision for Ron Renicky. The next pitch will be 100 for Gallardo. There really has no choice.
And it's quickly 0-2. When you're just hoping that the missed opportunities tonight, especially last inning for the Brewers, don't come back to haunt them. 2 outs recorded at home plate in that bottom of the 8th. Something you rarely see. The 0-2 to Hinsky. Laid off a good curveball.
Still has good stuff. Still has good snap on the curveball. The velocity is still there for Yo. It's awfully difficult, though, to get through a big league lineup 4 times.
Here's the 1-2. And down he goes. Hinsky strikes out as Gallardo goes back to the spinner.
Well, he struck him out the last time on a curveball and on a 1-2 count. A beauty, down and in. Right where you want it. Still has plenty of strength left in that arm.
1 away. Here is Freddie Freeman pinch hitting in the pitcher spot. Rookie first baseman. Gallardo's low hit career complete game is a 5-hitter. He did it twice, actually. There's a strike. Blistering fastball on the block.
93. That's one of the better ones he's thrown. He will empty the tank in this inning.
Those are the 3 finishers for Gallardo. Freeman was the starter yesterday. He's the everyday first baseman. Getting a chance for Freddie Gonzalez in his rookie season. Freddie Freeman. Strike. 2-2. Might have him set up for that curveball. Chase the high fastball.
He's been able to get the fastball by Freeman here. You just don't want to leave a curveball up in his zone. You're doing him a favor.
See what he has in mind for him. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the rookie. Fastball just missed. Brewers looking for their first win of the year. 2 outs away. On the ground to Prince. Tough hop. He scoops it to the bag in time. 2 gone. Not exactly textbook over there at first base, but it gets the job done.
Yep. A little bit of a heart pounder right there.
Two gone. The Braves down to their last out, and it's the man who tied it yesterday with a home run, Martin Prado. Prado's been hot. He had 3 hits in the series finale against Washington. 2 more yesterday, including that 8th inning game tire. On the ground, this is Counsell. In time, and Giovanni Gallardo. An absolute masterpiece here tonight, and Ron Renicky, you have your first victory as a Major League manager. What a performance tonight, Rock.
I'm telling you, that kid is unbelievable. 25 years old. He pitches like he's been in the game 10 years. 2 over the minimum. That's all it took him to get through the Braves here tonight. And he scored the only run of the ball game. What more can he ask from Gallardo?
Just brilliant. Giovanni Gallardo, every bit the ace that Ron Renicky said he was. And a complete game in his first start at Miller Park. It's a 2-hit shutout tonight for Giovanni Gallardo. Number 4 for Yo. Number 1 in the win column. And a great night here at Miller Park with a 1-0 win. That's all for us tonight. Our final score, the Brewers 1, the Braves 0. Brewers baseball returns to Fox Sports Wisconsin tomorrow night for Game 3 between the Brewers and the Braves. Coverage starts at 6:30. The Brewers return here to MLW on Friday night as they battle the Cubs. Coverage begins at 7. Coming up next, it's the Sports Fanatics for Bill Schroeder. I'm